Welcome back to the Core Cars News Tech Lab. Today we're going to be taking a look at 5 more ways to help you get the most out of your Roku TV, Roku player, and more. What I'm about to show you will work on all Rokus, including the Roku TV I'm going to demo it on, but Roku sticks and Roku players like the Roku Ultra, this will also work on. Before we get into these pro tips that I've got from our readers, if you're new here, hey, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It helps us a lot because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we're doing here. And hopefully we can help you get the most out of your Roku, or maybe break free from the high cost cable TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. Well, I wanted to break down these 5 tips. Before I do that, don't forget, I'll have a post in writing on how to do all this if you prefer to learn by writing. I'll also put a link to a similar video I've done like this in the past with other tips to help you get the most out of your Roku. Now, one of the big questions I get is parental controls, right? There's a ton of great channels here, great apps on the Roku with a lot of family-friendly content. Then there's some that's not exactly family-friendly. The great thing about Roku is they do have the ability here in the settings to set a parental controls so that you can go in there and set a PIN code. So under the settings in here, you'll find a parental control section, and then you can create a 4-digit PIN. You have to enter it twice. But once you create this PIN, you will be able to go in here and limit its ability to install apps without the PIN. So when your kids would go into the Roku channel store and try to download new Roku channels, they won't be able to without that PIN, which is a great feature there. Also, if you have the Roku channel app and you want to limit what kind of content is available in there, if you want to limit their ability to get to R-rated movies, etc., you can do that by using that same PIN there. So it's a great tool to make sure that you can know what your kids are watching, what they're installing on the Roku, and have some control over that. Now, many other services like Sling TV, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon have their own parental controls. If you're trying to set up parental controls for those services, make sure to Google how to do that there. I will include a link in the show notes down below to a post that has some instructions on how to set up parental controls for different services there. The next step I should say in line is how to use your phone to enter passwords. So your phone is a great tool. You've probably used it to search the web and all kinds of stuff, but it can also be used to control your Roku. It can be a full-blown remote to move around on your Roku. It can also be used to type in usernames and passwords on your Roku. By just installing the Roku app on iOS, Android, and Fire tablets, you'll be able to use your phone's keyboard or your tablet's keyboard to access passwords and more. You can use it to cast media from your phone to your Roku, and all kinds of other cool features. The one I like the most is the ability to have passwords and usernames entered. I love Roku, but I don't care if it's a Roku, Apple TV, or Fire TV, the on-screen keyboards are always a pain to use. So I really love the ability that I can use my phone to type in my usernames and passwords. Again, to do this, you just go into the App Store on your iOS, Android, or Amazon Fire tablet, install the Roku app there, and in it there's a little icon. You connect it to your Wi-Fi network, the same Wi-Fi network that your Roku's on, and then it will allow you to control your Roku through the app. You can click on the little keyboard, it'll bring up the keyboard of your device, and you can type in all your passwords and more right there. Do searches. You can also use your phone for private listening, where you can use like the Bluetooth feature of your phone to use Bluetooth headsets and hear the audio, or you can also use it to control your Roku. So link in the show notes down below. All right, screen mirroring is one I get a lot of questions about. And this is something that I get a lot from people that want to be able to mirror their Android phones or tablets or Windows computers to their Roku, but they have trouble. Now you have to actually go in here and set this up. So there's screen mirroring mode here where you can ask it to always prompt you for permission to do that, always allow, or never allow. Often people have this set by default to the never allow. So when a device tries to cast to your TV, it will be automatically blocked. If it's always allow, it will, no matter when something tries to cast, it will allow it. And then it will also prompt. Now once you enable this, you then need to go to your Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and more, or your Android device to cast to your Roku. Force a habit there. So you go to your Android device or your Windows PC and you go into the cast settings. You can search for that by going to the menu bar and typing in cast. There you'll be able to cast the screen of your phone to your Roku TV to whatever's on that phone will now display on your Roku. players, sticks, and TVs. Again, though, you need to have that enabled. That's the number one cause when I find people saying this isn't working. They haven't turned it on in the settings. It's kind of nice that Roku disables that. It prevents people from maybe your cousin or your kids who know what they're doing and taking over your Roku when maybe you don't want that. But if you want it, you gotta go turn it on. All right, next one up of the day, next tip of the day, I should say, number 4, how to use your Roku in a hotel, public Wi-Fi, dorm room, etc. I love taking my Roku stick with me when I travel on the road. Nothing's more annoying than getting to a hotel and not being able to watch what you want. The days of just watching TV are long gone. I travel for business. If you ever travel for business a lot, you know sometimes you're just like, okay, I'm done. Yeah, I'm in a city. I've been here like 15 times. I don't care to explore it. I just want to go back to the hotel room and rest because I'm tired and watch some Netflix, Hulu, and more. Or maybe you have a kid going off to college who wants to be able to take a Roku with them and use it on the school's network. The good news is, if you have the Roku app installed, you can easily do this. Now you just go into the settings, and then you go down to the networks here, and you connect to a network. Now you do this just like you would do for your home network. You connect to the Wi-Fi network, and then a new screen will pop up and it says something along the lines of, there appears to be limited internet. Are you at home or are you on a public Wi-Fi like a dorm or hotel? If you select, I'm on a public Wi-Fi, your Roku TV will then create, or Roku player, will create a Wi-Fi network. And that will allow your phone or tablet to connect to that Wi-Fi network. It will say, now go to Roku Direct with a bunch of numbers behind it. Type in this password to connect to that Wi-Fi network. And then you can complete the setup through your phone or tablet. And what it does is it allows you to, if your school or your hotel has one of those web pages that needs to come up where you need to log in or maybe just agree to a terms of service, you can now do that on your Roku players and Roku sticks and TVs and more through the public Wi-Fi feature, which is a great option there. It doesn't cost anything to use this on your Roku, but if you're in a hotel that charges for Wi-Fi, you may need to pay for that, so just keep that in mind. But I have step-by-step instructions on how to set this up in the show notes down below in the post if you want to read all this for yourself. But again, you just go into connect your Roku to your TV, go in the network, connect to that network, say I'm in a dorm room or a hotel, because it will detect that there's some type of barrier getting it to the internet. And then you need to use your phone or tablet to connect to the Wi-Fi network that your Roku is creating. All that information will be here on your screen. It will say connect to this Wi-Fi network, enter this password, and follow the instructions on your screen. Very simple to do, and it's really great. I love the ability to take that with me on the road and more. All right, tip number 5, adding new Roku channels from your computer. A lot of people love the ability to go in here and check out the streaming channels through the different features, but sometimes when you're trying to find one in particular, this isn't always the best way to find a particular channel. You can search for it, which is nice, but sometimes if you just want to look at the categories, some of them are here, but there's a whole lot more, and a lot easier to find, a lot quicker to load when you go to the computer. Roku actually has a channel store, which I have a link to in the show notes of our post over at corecarsnews.com. There you can go log into your account and browse for different Roku channels. And when you find one you're interested in, just click add, and it will seamlessly add these to your Roku. This is a great way to explore very quickly a lot of different Roku channels and find some fun ones out there. So check these out. Again, if you want a breakdown of how to do all these, check out the posts in the Core Cars News website. We have other tips in our other video, like how to rename your Roku. For instance, if you have multiple Roku, maybe one in your bedroom, one in the living room, and you're trying to cast YouTube or Netflix from your phone to your Roku, anybody ever cast it to the wrong TV? Now Roku allows you to rename your Roku players and Roku TVs to be like living room Roku, bedroom Roku, den Roku, kids Roku, or whatever you want to call them. That way you know you can manage those different ones easily. So very easy setup, very quick to do here. Roku even has a new guest mode, which will allow if you got friends or a babysitter to come over, or maybe you're renting out a room, you can set your Roku into a guest mode where they can log into their Netflix and their Hulu and more, and when they leave, it auto removes their content from your Roku. Very nice for anybody who wants to let them use your Roku, but you don't want them logging out of your Netflix so they can use their Netflix and more. Well, that's it for today. I hope these tips helped you. If you have a tip for Roku owners, leave me a comment. You may have known of some of these. Hopefully something here helped maybe you get more out of your Roku. So if you like this, hit that thumbs up. It really does help us. And make sure to subscribe for more cord cutting news, tips, tricks, and reviews like what you saw here. We post videos almost every day. We would appreciate your support. So check back tomorrow for more cord cutting news, tips, tricks, and how-to guides.